You're not poor. You're distracted. You're not dumb. You've been hacked. This video is about how, little by little, we lose control over our most important resource, our attention, and how this is directly connected to our tiredness, anxiety, and money problems. You wake up tired. You reach for your phone. You scroll through the news feed or memes. You rush through breakfast. While scrolling TikTok, you catch yourself thinking, I should do something useful. 40 minutes later, you're watching someone make a cappuccino in a tent in Bali. At night, you feel guilty that your day was wasted. And the crazy thing is, you're not doing nothing. You're busy all the time. But where does your energy go? Why does your brain feel foggy? Because you're living in the attention economy, and you're losing. Today, attention is a product. It's bought and sold. Companies fight for every second you focus. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, all built to keep you watching as long as possible. Because you're not a customer, you're the product. The longer you watch, the more ads you see, the more money they make. Algorithms are trained to manipulate your reactions. They know exactly what to show you. Shock, scandal, drama, memes, bare knees, a cat in a pot. And you don't notice how you get more and more distracted, how your brain can't hold attention for more than 10 seconds anymore. As Johann Hari writes in his book, Stolen Focus, we don't lose attention because we're lazy. We lose it because powerful systems are designed to steal it. You think you're just procrastinating, but it's not procrastination. It's an industrially designed hijacking of your brain. When you're distracted, it's harder to make smart decisions. Your brain is overloaded, your attention is scattered, and your self-control gets weaker. This opens the door to impulsive choices, including money decisions. You go to the store for bread, but come out with chocolate, a fancy syrup, and a scented candle. You spend money not on what helps your goals, but on what gives you instant relief. Why? Because your tired brain wants a quick dopamine hit to shut down stress. A 2013 study at the University of Pennsylvania showed that when people feel money pressure, their brain power drops by 13 IQ points, about the same as missing a few nights of sleep in a row. In other words, the brain literally gets dumber under pressure from lack of resources. Professors Senthil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir explain in their book, Scarcity, Why Having Too Little Means So Much, that when the brain is busy surviving, it can't think strategically. It gets stuck in a tunnel where it only sees the next task. It's like living in a hallway where all you see is the next bill, the next payment, the next purchase. No way out, no future vision. Why does this matter? This explains why poverty isn't just about money. Poverty means cognitive overload, lack of attention, and reactive behavior. Everyday signs of financial distraction include buying things on impulse for the dopamine rush of new stuff, spending that doesn't count, like coffee, taxis, or food delivery, putting off important actions, investing, insurance, education, living paycheck to paycheck, even with a decent income. Interesting fact. Poor families spend a higher percentage of their income on lottery tickets than wealthier ones because they're looking for a quick way out. That's the tunnel effect again. According to the National Endowment for Financial Education, USA, 95% of people make impulse buys, and 75% regret them later. For low-income people, these purchases aren't just whims. They're risks of not making it to the end of the month. For example, you're tired, distracted, and feel like you deserve a treat. You buy something small for $10, then another for $15 every day. After a month, you're down $200 to $300 without even realizing where it went. You start using credit cards to cover the gap and fall into a debt spiral. It's not that you don't know how to handle money. It's that an overloaded brain literally loses the ability to plan. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely describes this. When a person is tired, emotionally unstable, or overwhelmed, called the hot state, their brain can't make long-term decisions. All it wants is relief right now. In other words, fatigue, anxiety, and device overload turn us into emotional spenders, not strategic thinkers. A 2016 study from Harvard Business Review found poor people are twice as likely to make decisions that reduce their future income, taking quick loans, skipping education, not investing. It's not laziness or stupidity. It's the constant feeling of scarcity shrinking your ability to think ahead. You stop seeing far ahead. You live day to day. The poverty cycle in simple steps. You get tired, lose focus. You lose focus, spend money on extras. No money, anxiety grows. Anxiety, back to the store, buying something to feel better. This cycle keeps poverty going, not because you don't try hard enough, but because of cognitive pressure. Poverty isn't just money problems. It's a cognitive state. When your brain is stuck in survival mode, it can't access the resources to grow. That's why awareness, focus, routines, environment, and habits aren't just life hacks. They're ways to break out of the tunnel, to stop being a victim of chaos and start building your own plan. 1. Take back your focus with awareness, routines, and digital hygiene. 2. Build systems so you don't have to make every decision in the moment. 3. Learn to notice. Is this really me, or is the tunnel inside me making this choice? You decide to plan your budget, but jump on YouTube for a minute. An hour later, you're watching someone build a dirt hut in the woods and eat chestnuts. You want to save money, but then you see a sale. Discounts, bonuses, banners, countdown timers, everything is designed to make you act without thinking. You planned to read a helpful book, but end up reading 300 headlines on Twitter instead. This is the trap. You get tired. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain isn't getting quiet or deep thinking time. Without that, you can't think about the future, make smart decisions, or get out of poverty. Realize you're in a system. This is important. You're not weak or to blame if things don't always work out. You're just in an environment made to distract you, scatter your focus, and drain your energy away from your goals. Until you accept this, you'll blame yourself, lose motivation, and keep making the same mistakes. First step, watch yourself and your surroundings. Where do you lose focus? What pulls you away from what matters? Write it down. Don't beat yourself up, just use it as a fact to work with. 2. Cut out the extra stuff. Figure out what's stealing your time and attention right now. Turn off all unnecessary notifications. Keep only what's critical. Family calls, work messages, important reminders. Delete apps that make you zone out. Social media, games, aimless chats. Pick at least one day a week for a digital detox. No social media, no news, no extra screens. Use that day to recharge. 3. Take control of your morning. Morning is your clean slate. Your brain isn't yet filled with news and notifications. Wake up with intention. What's most important today? Create a morning ritual. Write down 3 tasks for the day, financial plans, or thoughts about your goals. Avoid social media and news feeds right after waking up. Better to meditate, exercise, or read. Plan your day for 15 minutes. Planning trains your focus and awareness. Sit with pen and paper, put screens away. Write down, what really needs to get done today? What money will you spend? What steps bring you closer to your financial and life goals? This helps you slow down and take responsibility. 1 no spending day per week. Not just saving money, but practicing self-control and awareness. Pick one day a week. Don't buy anything except absolute essentials. Use this day to notice. What makes you want to spend? How can you replace that feeling without buying? This builds your no muscle and helps break the habit of impulsive spending. 6. Restore. Deep focus. Today's world steals our ability to think deeply. We need to train and bring it back. Read books. Paper ones are better. They require concentration and immersion. Listen to podcasts or audiobooks without distractions. Walk without your phone. Just observe, breathe, and relax. Write by hand. Journal, plans, ideas. This improves focus and awareness. Do challenging tasks that need concentration, even 10 to 15 minutes a day, then slowly increase. Try the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break. Helps focus and avoid burnout. Automate your finances. Set up autopay for bills and savings to reduce decision fatigue. Keep simple money records. Write down your spending to see where your energy goes. Surround yourself with supportive people, those who get and encourage your goals, not drag you down. These steps aren't just advice. They're real tools to change your life. They'll help you stop being stuck in the tunnel and take control of your focus and money. You didn't fail. You were just living in a system that wants you to be distracted forever. You're not dumb. You're overloaded. You're not poor. You're unfocused. Once you start taking back your attention, you start getting control over your money, your thoughts, and your life. All right, my unfocused little cupcake. If you watched this video all the way to the end, I'm proud of you. That's rare. It means you still have some attention left, or at least some crumbs. Or maybe you just love cats, and that's totally fine. Now you know who's stealing your energy. Nope, it's not your neighbor with the drill. It's your phone, social media, and a bunch of smart algorithms that see you as a battery, spinning and spinning. But you're not a battery. You're a brain. You're a human. You're the boss, not a hamster on a wheel. So, make yourself some tea. Brew some chamomile. Pet your cat, if you have one. If not, you can pet me in your mind. And just sit. In silence. No screen. Think, what do I really want from my life? Because the world will keep shouting, but your voice matters more. And if you get stuck on TikTok again, I'll find you, and I'll lie down on your keyboard. You're Moti, with love, and a slightly annoyed tail.